Alright. So I'm back on the stream. I think that I should be good. Alright, I'm just going to wait a second until somebody confirms that I am actually on the stream properly. I think that everything should be fine, but sometimes it does wonky things and it just crashes on me out of nowhere. Hello, T-Rex. How you doing, man? So I don't know what happened with that last stream, but it just crashed on me out of nowhere. Alright, so I've actually transported myself over to Murkwater Construction right after the stream crashed. I don't know what caused that, but, you know, things happen. Maybe it's my wonky internet being wonky again, but hopefully it'll be fine henceforth. It would be nice, though, if I had notifications that would tell me, hey, the stream's crashed. Either I'm crazy or my stream crashed again. No, stream's fine. Alright. I'll stop being a paranoid lunatic at some point. Okay, so supposedly there are a group of angry Brahmin nearby that I am to be looking for. See, I think that it would be nice if I had like a moderator or somebody on chat with me separate from my view of YouTube, because the only problem with not actually viewing it on my phone or on another device that tells me that the stream is continuing and it has good health is that I have to rely on a constant stream of chat messages to confirm to me That is one thing that I don't like about having a second monitor, because there's nothing that tells me whether or not the stream is healthy. Even if I go on Chrome and I'm actually in the YouTube studio, it still doesn't tell me. It's a little bit strange and a little bit challenging. So I had to glance at my phone and actually check to make sure. It would also help if my stream just wouldn't crash out of nowhere. You know what's truly interesting though? The Naruto run. So I found this mod while I was looking through some comments from various mod authors that are, you know, probably dislike me at this point. And I found the Naruto sprint. So I decided to take a look at it just because it seems like the kind of goofy nonsense that people would like. Along with that, I'm looking for the disruptor, an alien disruptor abduction weapon or something of that kind, and supposedly it's out near Murkwater Construction. But I'm not sure that I entirely believe it. You know what? This might be the greatest mod I've ever found.
Of its people. Make a reservation.
I also don't know who these people are. Is this what I'm looking for? Right here? Huh. I thought it was Brahmin that I was looking for, but maybe not.
I can't wait to get to Paradise Bay. Any day now, I tell you.
Spend your days in the lap of luxury. Come to Paradise Bay. What is a vacation? For some, it's an escape. A break from the rat race.
Food, clothing, gyms, and spas.
They say on Paradise Bay anything can happen.
I dropped a rake the other day. Just couldn't keep your grip.
Yeah, it's pretty smart.
Well,
No
they do have the
raiders,
best doctors in the
no
world.
death claws, no rat scorps.
There's 1,000 ways to get to paradise.
Well, this is a peculiar location.
You've always wanted, and the
I'm not familiar with it, and it doesn't seem like it's what I'm exactly looking for, but it's definitely unfamiliar to
now
me.
it's time to play hard, and
I can't do it, Doc.
We need a sample now. Any more delays and it'll be useless.
What you're asking me to do is murder.
And what about the alternative? What if him and Sarah have children? What if it spreads to them?
There's no guarantee it will.
Are you willing to take that gamble? Because
Hey.
I won't.
You don't know what you're saying, Doc. You're asking me to look my friend in the eye and put a bullet in his heart.
He's dead already. Either you do it or the disease does.
Then do it yourself. I don't want any part of this.
I don't
Get
know
lost.
if anybody remembers Genie from the MXR Mods channel, but that is the same person right there. The voice
I'm
actor for
sorry
Dr.
you had
Singh.
to see that. Things are tense right now. Did you have business here? Don't tell me you came here looking for Paradise Bay.
Actually, I came here looking for aliens, but, you know, it's not that different.
Paradise Bay. The contest we've been playing on the radio outside. It's not real. It never was.
Okay. What's really going on here?
There's some kind of disease running through the settlement. At first we thought it was a virus, but now we think it's genetic. Worse yet, panic and anxiety seem to exacerbate the symptoms. That's when we came up with the contest. From there, it just evolved into a full-on experiment. We started rotating the jobs, making people take tests, trying to identify losses in cognition or motor function. We moved everyone showing symptoms to quarantine, and continued monitoring the others.
Where are they holed up?
In quarantine. If you want, you can go down there and see for yourself. The effects of the disease, well, it's not pretty. Now, what I'm proposing won't cure them, but it'll slow down things enough to where they can lead healthy, productive lives.
Is there anything I can do to help?
You can go to Harvey and give him his ticket. Tell him he's won a reservation to Paradise Bay. Then, you take him here, and we'll break the news together. I may need you to hold him down, in case things get rough.
Damn, Jeannie. You're a different person these days. Alright, I'll do it. I don't care how
Great.
unethical it
If you
sounds.
aren't too sure which
I'm
one
not
is
an ethical
Harvey,
person.
you can tell by the symptoms, but it should be obvious.
Okay, so this is definitely not the mod that I'm looking for. This has to be Tales from the Commonwealth. If it were anything else, I would be honestly surprised because Jeannie doesn't do much voice acting
What
as
is a
far as I'm
vacation?
aware.
For some, it's an
Especially not
escape,
for
a break from the
mods
rat race.
that I can recall.
For others, it's
But
a chance
Tales from the Commonwealth is a relatively older mod with a ton of various quests, so odds are this is just one I have not encountered yet. Alright, and I think I'm looking for Harvey?
You just came out of the office, didn't you?
Yes.
Is that what I think it is?
adventure and
Is that a reservation to Paradise Bay?
You betcha. That's right.
I
Congratulations.
can't believe it. And I was worried I'd never make it. Well, look at me now. I'm going to Paradise Bay. Guys, I did it. I got a reservation.
and there's only one place to do it. Paradise
Congratulations.
Bay.
We're so happy for you.
Congratulations.
What is a vacation?
You, lucky son of a gun.
A break.
I'm happy for you. Congratulations.
Don't worry, guys. I won't forget about you. As far as I'm concerned, you're all family.
Congratulations.
We're so happy for you.
You're one lucky son of a gun.
We're so happy for you. You deserve it.
I hope I get a reservation next.
And a chance to do more. Paradise Bay is the life you've always wanted and the one you can finally have. So come, make a reservation, because paradise is just around the corner.
What do you mean there's no such thing as Paradise Bay?
It was all to protect you. The higher your stress and blood pressure, the faster the disease progresses.
But now you want me to die? You're gonna open me up and poke around in me like some fucking lab rat?
They're still alive, Harvey. Nilesh, Jeremy, Faye, and Elise. You can still save them.
So that's it. You want to save your husband. You're killing me to save him.
That's not fair. I'd do the same if your roles were reversed.
That's bullshit, and you know it. I've had enough of your lies.
I'm sorry, Harvey, but I'm afraid you don't have a choice.
So that's why Gomez left. He didn't have the guts to kill me himself. You don't believe this crap about saving the settlement, do you?
Well, I'm afraid you have to die, sir.
Then you're gonna have to shoot me down.
Okay. Sir, I'm wielding my MP40. You just can't contend with me today.
Thank you. This was a little messier than I would have liked, but I might be able to make a go of it. I need a moment to ready the lab. If you can, take this key and grab my notes from the desk downstairs. And hurry.
Alright. Retrieve the doctor's notes. There we go. I know I'm getting caught up in something entirely
Stay
different
active
from
in
what
our
I was
world-class
originally
gyms,
planning, but
swimming pools and
you know,
dance floors.
I'm okay with it.
Eat the finest cuisine and the most decadent wines. You'll live like royalty in your room by the ocean, only at Paradise Bay.
Is that the right location?
Spend your days
Paradise
in a
Bay.
lap
Oh,
of
okay.
luxury. Come to
Never
Paradise
mind.
Bay.
Going to the wrong way
Spend
again.
your days in a lap.
What is it?
Dr. Singh's notes on a cure. The solution requires the following measurements: 40% Radway, 22.9% Radex, 21.4% Stimpack, and 15.7% something unknown. I'm just missing a crucial piece of information on how to properly vector the cure. If I can just get a look at how the disease attacks the tissue, I can figure out the rest. I think that she's trying to cure ghoulification? Maybe. They're eating a Brahmin. Grab. Oh. Here I am being a slave to my intrigue.
Please, kill us. My wife, she means well, but the pain, no man should have to live with this pain.
Oh my dear. The glowing ghoul, the glowing one looks at you with pain in his eyes. You can tell it's difficult for him to speak. Give him the injection. Lethal injection. Oh, okay. Yeah, I could do that, but I think I'm gonna go with the crazy doctor.
No, don't leave.
That's a whole lot of pleading there, man. Take one for the team, would you?
You're back. I think I've identified how the disease functions. It works almost like an autoimmune response, which means treatment needs to start with reducing inflammation. The missing ingredient should be a steroid, so liquefied buffout should work nicely. The problem is, we'll need a steady hand to make it, and, well, let's just say I'm not a good candidate. So you'll need to synthesize the formula. Just use the percentages in the notes, and you should be fine.
Alright, let's see. What are we looking at? So I'll go back downstairs. I feel like it was a little bit pointless for me to come upstairs, but, yeah. Oh, never mind. Never mind. Quest markers these days. Alright.
It's 7 milliliters in total.
Where am I synthesizing this? Here? Alright. Add 16 ounces of beer. Okay. And do I have the cognition to be doing this right now? Dr. Singh's note on the cure. Alright.
I can't do it myself, not in my current condition.
So,
Gomez
I'm
was
going to
supposed
have
help
to
me with the
abandon
lab
this for
work,
now,
but
just because
he's not here.
it's, first of all, not what I'm actually trying to do, and I don't want to do math. I'm really goddamn tired.
Want to know more about Paradise
Come
Bay?
to Paradise
Just
Bay,
listen
where
to the radio.
every day
The
is
person on the radio
unscripted.
doesn't even feel real to me. It's just a voice.
It's interesting. I'll come back to it later, but not today. I'm still looking for this goddamn Brahmin. I am gonna head back towards Murkwater Construction though, because I'm not absolutely certain where I'm going to find this damn thing. You know what? I don't think that's ever gonna get old. I'll just start Naruto sprinting everywhere I go. Alright, I'm not seeing these Brahmin, so I think I'm going to have to check out the mod page again and see if maybe I'm getting something wrong. So I'm looking for the Sonic Neuralizer, and in the spoilers it says, find it just south of Murkwater Construction. Look for a herd of angry Brahmin. Okay. Damn. Alright, south. See, I feel like I was just over here though. Yes, yes I was. More southwest, maybe? I'm neither seeing nor hearing anything. This is the edge of the map. It's not like I can really go anywhere. Maybe they listed the wrong location. So at this point, I'm heading more west than I am south. And I'm supposed to be looking for a herd of angry Brahmin, but there's nothing around here. Well, shoot. Yeah, I'm not finding it, but... Well, let me check the ESP Explorer. I'll see if I can find the actual plugin, because I'm sure that I installed it. It's not like me to not do such a thing, but I can't say as I'm perfectly within my right mind today either, so... Alright, let's see... Sense power armor. Yeah, I've got the Peacekeeper, so that was part of the list of things that I installed. Is that it? Alien assault rifle, that's different. I'm not finding it. Maybe the ESP didn't get loaded properly. I don't know why it wouldn't do that, but half the time I don't know why technology doesn't do what it's supposed to be doing. It's the BC-90C out of the Burchard. Black powder, Scorpio. It would be kind of weird if that was the only thing that didn't get installed properly. Can't say it hasn't happened before, but it'd be peculiar. Nope, nothing. Maybe I'm just missing it with my bad eyes, but I somehow doubt it. Alright, well, I'll skip the atomizer for the moment, because I don't know what the hell would cause it to just not be there. Unless, could it be, is that a Brahmin, or is that a rad stag? It's a rad stag, of course it is. Why wouldn't it be? Well, damn, for the life of me, I can't find it even if I wanted to. I mean, I can close the game at some point too, and just restart the stream. That's not a big deal. I can check out and see what's causing that to be a problem. But I can't find the ESP, and I can't find the Brahmin, so I'm assuming it's just gone. Or not included. Somehow got missed. I don't really know. You, Sir Settler, you're near my location.
Please, do you have any rat-away?
Oh, sorry,
I
ma'am.
think I may be dying.
You know, by chance I do. Here you go.
Ah, thank you.
The
You
iconic
just saved my
visage.
life.
You know, I think the start of this live stream was a lot more bustling than it is currently. That first try, really, it had a lot of people jumping right in. I really felt like we were off to a good start, and then of course it had to crash. Because why wouldn't it? That's how my week's been going. Alright. On that happy note, I'm going to go ahead and pause the game. I'm going to go ahead and quick save here, and then I'm actually going to jump out. Hopefully that won't crash the stream for any good reason, but I think that it should be fine. And then I'll just check out my plugins real quick and see what's going on here with Vortex, because I'm using Vortex, of course. And the history, let's see here. Third person Naruto Peacekeeper run is Sonic Neuralizer. So the mod should be on. Zetan Sonic Gun. Okay, so it exists, but we've got a bell notification. Plug has missing masters. To fuel the blaster version. I don't care. I don't know. Maybe I am missing masters. Maybe I should just go with the base version. Because that would be why. And you know what? It was good timing for it. My music's out anyway. I need a new playlist. Alright, so Sonic Neuralizer, let's go ahead and get rid of the to fuel the blaster version. I didn't see any requirements when I downloaded it, but it's possible that it just wasn't listed. I'm looking at everything now, so it's probably my fault, but yeah, I'm not seeing anything that... Nope, nothing that alludes to there needing to be any requirements, so I don't know what I'm missing. So it's at least partially my fault. Partially having to do with them not actually listing the requirements, but, you know, hey, what can you do? Sometimes you're just too busy. Alright. I'm gonna jump right back in and find this here weapon. Alright, back in the game. Base version of the mod installed, and I'm going to head south with my Naruto runs. And let's go ahead and get rid of that, so that I can record a little bit of Angry Brahmin. Oh, Angry Brahmin. There we go. And look at that. We have the Sonic Neuralizer and some alien blaster rounds. It has an interesting appearance. Now, because I have I Hate Legendaries enabled, I don't know that it's actually going to work. That will be entirely my fault. It's kind of like a an alien shotgun. It's a little peculiar. It is exactly an alien shotgun that paralyzes things. Huh. Is a rather interesting weapon. So the thing paralyzes targets, allowing you to abduct them. It's possible that it also does a lot of damage, but because of my I Hate Legendaries, it's not doing that. So again, I'll have to look at it without that mod and see if that's the case. Either way, it's pretty powerful, honestly. Because even if you just neutralized an opponent temporarily, it would give you or your companion the opportunity to take them out. Especially in the case of things like Deathclaw and what have you. I'm not reloaded. It's unfair.
You disappear! Let's play, little kid!
Yeah, see, I like it against these tough guys. Get out of here, dog. Alright, I'm fairly satisfied with the weapon, as it is. And as a combo pack, they're actually pretty effective together. I've forgotten how much I love this gun. Every time Diacute, I'm not sure that's how you pronounce it, but there's this mod author, Diacuto, or Diacute, I don't know how he pronounces it, but he is the maker of this weapon, and every time that I talk to him, I remember it, or not even necessarily talk to him, but I see his comments every so often on the channel. They're usually not happy comments, but, you know, I see them. And it's always reminded me of this epic little weapon here, because at the time when I first engaged with them, it was a situation where they were mad at me for not being familiar with their work previously, and saying so. I don't really know how I could fix that, other than by having previously been familiar with their work, but I don't know. It was a weird situation, so it just kind of holds to mind. Sometimes you're gonna have a weird conversation or two, though, when you're in the public sphere. Alright. I'm gonna have to fix my power armor. That way I can do some more professional Naruto running. It was a little funky. Alright, T-Rex, what do you think? Should I go ahead and close down the stream? I don't think that this one's going to be recoverable. It started off really nice there. There was quite a lot of comments for a second, but it seems like after the crash, people did not come back. In combat with. Yeah, perhaps. I think that there was something going particularly wrong with the stream health there for a second. So it's possible that they were lagging behind on my end too. But I know that I have a little bit more difficulty reading things when I'm not feeling the healthiest. My vision gets a little bit cloudy, so it can be hard for me to do so swiftly. I actually saw one of the last comments that I saw was exactly that, you know. Does this guy even read comments? And I responded to it about 10 seconds after the stream crashed altogether. So it was kind of a weird timing for that. Feels just a little bit cursed. It's been kind of a rough week this week. Not everything's been going my way. Kind of makes sense. January was a little bit easy for me, so of course the following months have to correct me. Yeah, I just need to get humbled every now and again, right? I think it also helps when I'm on screen if people can see that I'm present, and that kind of gives a little bit more familiarity. I may end up at some point doing these as just private or for members only, unlisted, something like that, where it's just, you know, the people who want to sit around and watch me do the most boring things in history for an hour or two. Even limit the chat a little bit just so that I can focus on everybody, you know, have it be a little bit more intimate as opposed to a crowd of people. Plus, it's not particularly interesting seeing me do stuff like this, you know, the panning shots and what have you. But it helps me to focus. You know, I'm not really interested in the money, so I probably won't do members only. But, you know, unlisted, just make it for the people who really want to see the content. I'll drop like a post or something like that so that people are able to see and still, you know, come in and engage with me when I'm able to. Because I'm really just sitting here doing something that's relatively boring on its own, so I don't mind. I prefer to have the company and just somebody to chat with. Alright, I think that's probably enough of that particular angle. Let's go ahead and get the weapon down. And boom. Alright. I think it would be cool if, at Sneaky Guy, if you're familiar with him, I know T-Rex is, but if he could come in and check out some of the ways that I do my recording and see some of the settings, because I know that he's asked me about them, and they're just a little bit complicated, and I change things on a frequent basis to kind of adjust to what the needs of the video are, and now that I think about it, I don't have a clear weather on, so that's not going to look as good as I would like it to. There's so many little details of what I do, and I try to help him out, but it's hard to clarify all of these little things, like the lighting, for instance. Sometimes it's got a nice dark feel, and it's really just because of the weather that's currently active. Whereas other times, I manually set it to clear the weather. That way you have a nice clear view of what I'm looking at, but with still a nice darker, gritty look to it. Yeah, there's a lot of settings changes and adjustments and things like that. Alright, I think that was pretty much perfect. And I already got the third person, so let's go ahead and find some good lighting on that weapon there. Just clock these animations, make them look decent. Nice and clear. Alright, that's good. I think I already got these, but I'm going to quickly reshoot just a little bit. And back over to 25. It's little stuff like that. It makes a huge difference, but if you don't know how I do it and what my process is, it's a little bit hard to replicate. And I know some people have the need to replicate. Alright. And then close. But I do this stuff all the time, and it gets really boring, especially when I'm just sitting here chatting. Well, not when I'm sitting here chatting. When I'm here talking to myself because there's nobody in chat. Like when I'll be sitting here and I'll be listening to music and whatever, and I'll be talking to myself about literally nonsense, and I'm just kind of rambling like a lunatic. and then my neighbor or somebody from the Jehovah's Witness will drop by and they'll knock on my door and they'll be like, oh, well, would your friend like to come out and talk to us? And I'm like, oh, that's where you're entirely mistaken. I am my friend. It's fun. Alright, so I'm going to go with a short barrel. And that's not going to change in appearance at all. That's going to be important that I check out the rest of those, really. Maybe get another view, like, there's a lot of suppressors with this one, but a muzzle brake. Oh yeah. What makes me so unpredictable? I think that one of the coolest things about this weapon is the ammo types. If you have, well, it requires munitions to use, so if you have munitions, because you're supposed to, you'll have both the 32 and 22 ammo types. And if you have mods like the American 180, you're going to have great and bountiful amounts of it, because the American 180 shows up all the time, all over the map, and it usually comes with a rather sizable amount of ammunition, about 100 rounds per instance of finding the weapon. So I recommend both of them together. And the American 180 is probably my preferred weapon, just because it's wildly overpowered. Nice. Alright, wait. Okay. Yes, it does. There is a munitions compatibility patch that you can get, and it has an assorted variety of weapons, plus a FOMod installer, so it will give you all of the options that you need for whatever weapons you're looking for. So you get stuff like the American 180, those are rotten. I love that my character just slowly gets into the power armor. I was expecting them to just leap in, but no. Of course not. Why would they? That would be silly. Madness, I tell you. So, yes, the American 180 does have a compatibility patch, as does the American, or not the American 180, the Winchester Model 1897? Pretty much everything has a munitions patch at this point, but they can usually be found in that one mod, and I'll toss a link for it in the description when I'm done here, just for ease of access. It's one that I've talked about in the past, but only maybe once. I think at the time I was referencing the 12.7mm, because not having a munitions patch for that was pretty devastating. It doesn't work with better locational damage if you don't have a munitions patch for it. I know that was the most coherent thing I've ever said, but I was trying. I really was. Okay, I'm gonna save this time before I mess things up. Alright, there. And when I say the 12.7mm, I'm talking about the older versions of the weapon too, not the newer stuff. The newer stuff is usually munitions compatible at base. That's one nice looking weapon. Runs out of ammo before I can even aim down the sights. Yeah, that stuff is all hell. I love it. All of the animations for this are awesome. And I'm going to draw the attention of these Mirelurk hunters for a second, if I stay out here. I'm actually surprised they didn't already come over here to kick my ass. They do it like every third Sunday. But they're completely unpredictable. You never know when they're going to actually show up. They're just over there, lurking, and then out of nowhere, boom, they're on my doorstep. You know what, that's actually a nice picture. Simple, but to the point. Boom. And this is how I make my posts. I just take a bunch of different pictures of weapons and armor and what have you. Usually while I'm in the midst of recording. For ease. Oh yeah. And sometimes I'll do something like that and just kind of throw in a little bit of maybe a wide angle by up the view like that, and then maybe nudge that to the side a little bit there and reduce my far blur curve, or increase it, never mind, to make Rex a little more prevalent. There we go. I can even get, you know, a better angle on it too. No, I think that original one was better. I'll stick with that. There we go. So that gives me everything that I needed there. And I already recorded the first person. Now I've got a few pictures there, as well as some good recording. And I think that the blunt grip would look good. So for the final shots that I'm going to have of this, I'll go ahead and grab that as well. That's armor. I don't know what ghost sights are, but I want to see. Let's go with the standard material. And how about a flash hider and a nice short barrel. Well, I do intend to do more live streams like this that are relatively tame, so hopefully, if I can get more of a following on that, we'll have some more conversation going on, you know, a little bit more diversity rather than me just kind of sitting here rambling. And I think that it would be a lot better for you guys to be able to get a direct first-person view of what these weapons are without having to necessarily go into game and download them yourselves and experiment on your own. And not just have to trust what I say, because sometimes I'm not partial to something that is actually decent, and occasionally I'll even change my mind, like the Long 15 NCR expansion for Fallout New Vegas. I was not partial to it my first playthrough. It was maybe 6 or so hours into it before I actually restarted, played a different perspective, and ended up liking it quite a lot. Still wouldn't say that it's my favorite mod, but it plays well. Well enough that it doesn't really deserve the original criticism that I gave it, and I did change my tune about it. I was very quick to say that I was in fact wrong. So that does occasionally happen. And other times, I just don't quite care for something. And there's nothing anybody can say. The way I see it, if I have to record the mod anyway, I might as well do a live demonstration for it. It's a little boring doing it by myself anyhow. It's all very simple stuff. It's something I'm pretty well practiced at this point, but, you know, it's good business. Come on, man, stand still for a minute. Actually a good shot right there. Again, good for the posts. Let's go ahead and get that in. Then I'm going to adjust my far blur curve again, because he's a little bit closer. And that should work. All right. Yeah, he's my bread and butter. I'm not even kidding. There is a actual, like, tangible increase in viewership when he is more visible in a video. So you'll have these ones where he's just kind of like flitting around behind me, and I didn't take the time to like cut him out, and you'll get way more views for it. People love Rex. I only wish that he was on Xbox, because I get so many Xbox people who ask me, oh, is that on Xbox? And I'm like, no, it's not. It's, you know, it's PC only, and they get so sad. This is a very interesting weapon. I mean, it's an alien shotgun, which is not what I expected of it, for some reason. And to be a double barrel of all things, it seems a little bit peculiar. You know, a bit rudimentary, but I can't say I mind. Okay, so we have a paralyzing receiver, but we also have hardened, explosive, advanced, brain fog, non-lethal, paralyzes targets for approximately 5 seconds. Target believes the player has vanished and has a reduced chance to detect you for 10 seconds. Okay, so that's interesting. I think personally I would go with explosive, so I'll get myself the science perk. I am using Olympus ENB with vivid weathers and vivid textures. I'm using the all-in-one pack for the textures. The LOD files are separate, but I'm pretty sure that they are in the requirements section. And I agree, the customization is actually really nice. Decrease range, quieter though. I don't know, it looks different, so I'll put it on there. Oh, a full stock as well. Laser sights and scope. Go ahead and toss the scope on there. Oh, nice. I like that. It has the over-the-shoulder view on third person. I'll still give you that increased range. Okay, so this functions a lot more like the Lorenzo's artifact. It has the same firing type. That's nice. That's a good weapon, and it's a little bit of a pain in the ass to get. Messed up that angle a little bit. Actually, I think I am going to want to get from the front. There we go. So bricks. Funny fact about the Rex Dogmeat Replacer is that it uses the original version of Dogmeat, so he actually doesn't have the title change of Dogmeat. If you remember from the original version, he was just called Dog. Additionally, he can take the Cryolator and actually enter Volt 111, whereas the new version is restricted. This is like, see me. All right. I think that's good. Actually, yeah, let me see if this has power armor animations. I mean, it should. I'm assuming it just uses the vanilla shotgun animation, right? Yeah, doesn't look like there's anything wrong with that. I think that's fine. Yep. Nothing disconnected, right? I don't think anybody's going to look as closely as I am, so it shouldn't really matter, but there we go. Yeah, looks good. Alright, reload. And I love this location because it allows me to come out here and test my weapons on enemies that are nearby, like over at Fort Strong or Libertalia. There's a couple of Mirelurks, and over at the airport, there are ghouls. Lots of ghouls. That is not particularly powerful. And for a shotgun, very. Reasonably accurate, though. Can't tell if that was body parts or birds. Nowhere near the subject. Pretty devastating at close capacity or close range, though. What happened to Rex? I would say that it's reasonably devastating if you're really close to them. Gives them a little bit too much time to run away, though, if you're too far. does seem to paralyze their legs pretty easily, though, which could keep them from going anywhere. Damn. Kind of reminds me of the Halo 4 weapons. The ones from the... what are they called? It's not the Reclaimers. I can't remember. And it's not important. For anyone wondering what the hell that was, it was an M84 flashbang grenade. I think all in all, I'm going to go ahead and say that I like this weapon. I'm probably not going to end up using it because I already have my shotguns that I love, but, you know, if I ever decided to do an Alien playthrough, this is definitely a weapon that I would choose. I would want it, for sure. And I'm working on this mod list that's Wild Wasteland mods. It's all just the weirdest stuff you can find, hence the Naruto running, you know, the Naruto sprint is one of those things that I want to include in that one. So I'll probably end up tossing this in there, because it is a really quality weapon. It looks really good. And it's pretty devastating, honestly. You don't have to be particularly precise about it either. I do wish there was a better ammo capacity version, something that you can like rig onto it or something. I think that would be kind of interesting. Yeah, if I could get like even a 10-round capacity or something like that. It might be a little bit overpowered if it had that though. I think my go-to shotgun is the Winchester model 1897, if I remember. No, I might be mistaken about that. I'll link it in the description, though. It's definitely a Winchester variant of shotgun. There are so many different Winchester dates. You know, 95, 81, 76, I don't know. There's a million of them, and it's always hard to remember which one is which. But it has this beautiful bayonet equipping animation that I absolutely love. Anytime that you draw the weapon, it pulls the damn thing out, and it clicks into place with this really satisfying, you know, sound effect. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and back save though, so that these guys are still alive. And I'm just going to say, it's a great weapon. I absolutely love it. I don't have any problems with it. Didn't notice any glitches or issues. It has power armor, first person, third person animations, everything you could ask for, really. And that's, oh, it looks really good on the character too, with that classic holstered weapons. That's very sound. The only thing I could really say for it, and it's not even a complaint, it's just, yeah, a thing that I would like to see if it's ever updated, is just some kind of additional ammo capacity, or maybe a custom effect for the firing type. Pretty much any little adjustment would make it an outstanding weapon. It's already very good, especially given that I think this is one of those ones that was kind of rushed with the Fallout mod flood, or whatever they call it at the time. And I just missed it back in 2025, and I don't think anybody really talked too much about it, so I would have to go back and look at like the best of 2025 weapon mods or whatever, something like that, and see if anybody else had anything to say about it. But I don't remember hearing anything about it from Sneaky Guy or Hardcore Halfling. They're the two guys that I talk to occasionally about mods. But I'm very satisfied with it. It's a very good weapon. And you know what? I don't even need to wonder what my Winchester model is. I have my perfectly accessible ESP Explorer. I'm sure I can find it in a heartbeat. It's somewhere in here. Because I have my list of weapons, really. And it'll only take me a second to find, I'm sure. Winchester, that's model 1873, that's the ODW, that's not the one that I'm looking for, the 97, long barrel bayonet, I think this is the one. I think it's the 97. Yep, this'll be it. Now this bad boy is a peach. It has great accuracy, you can put explosive shells on it, and the bayonet I'll equip so that I can show that animation. It's absolutely pristine. There's a few different texture options for it. It's just outstanding. The accuracy is amazing. The damage is just, it's so good. So I'll just quickly modify it. It's a very simple weapon. I'm going to try the suppressor with the bayonet just for fun. So you get the clean and rusty texture options. You can do either pump action or slam fire. And you have an option of birdshot, buckshot, high explosive slug ammo, and normal slugs. Obviously the high explosive slugs are just a touch above. The thing that I like, though, is the more or less birdshot explosive shell action. I think it was explosives, right? It was demolition expert. There we go. So if it had some spread with those explosive shots, I think that would be cool, but it's not necessarily realistic. So I'm okay with it as it is. And let's see. Yeah. That is very, very satisfying. So you get that every time that you pull out the weapon, just that quick. The way that it sinks into place, and it's wonderful. And like I said, crazy accurate. Like, for instance, I bet I could hit... I think this thing works best, though, on people, as opposed to my Mirelurks, which are crazy strong. And I broke both of my arms trying to fire it that once. I'd like the Basher perk or Slam Fire or something. These guys are taking a beating. I'm apparently refusing to do any sort of fast action getting in and out of my power armor for some reason. I don't know if it's something to do with my mod list or what, but that'll get you killed when it happens. Alright, so I won't instigate a fight with them. They're level 100. They're very powerful. But we all kind of get the point. It's a beautiful weapon, beautiful bayonet, and having a suppressed version can be really helpful if you have real AI or any other combat mod that modifies the detection range. So, last thing I'm going to do before I go ahead and close out the stream is I'm going to record that Naruto run with the menus turned off. So I have a special setting for this. Power armor recording. That'll change all my camera perspectives. And then I think it is going to be kind of interesting to have my Naruto run with these ornamentations. With Rex running alongside me as well. I think I might need to get a little bit further away though. It's gonna be hard to get that angle. I know, right? Just a guy running around like a Naruto character. Oh, damn. There we go. That's the one. I have to beat Rex so that he's in camera view. I don't think it's gonna happen. Nope. Well, I did, but he fell out. Alright, I think that'll be good enough for now. It shows what I'm looking for. It'll be a very short, I'm sure. But I'll have to talk about it in a long-form video so that you can get a better perspective on it. Or viewers can. Obviously, anybody who's watching right now is getting that perspective. But it's a pretty cool mod. I think it's just one of those goofy things that kind of belongs in Fallout where you run like a weirdo. And I actually used to know a guy back in high school who would run like this all the time. Didn't matter where he was going or what he would be doing, he would always run like this. And he's this like really scrawny dude. He probably weighed like 90 pounds soaking wet and, you know, with weights on him. He was just a funny lad, and it was good. It was good times. But I'm going to go ahead and clock out for this session, and then I'm going to have to start on my video editing. That way I can get rid of all the fluff and, you know, wasted time in here, all the mistakes and whatnot, and get that isolated for an actual video. Alright. Well, that was the little bit of time, the period that I usually wait for some comments to come in, but I'm going to go ahead and close down. So I appreciate you guys joining in, and I hope that I will see some of you again in the future. I hope to do this a lot more frequently than I have been, cover maybe 3 or 4 months, and do a little bit more of an in-depth look at these things, because I feel like some of them I've been cutting corners with and not showing enough of the mod and taking a close enough look at it, like I would have done a year or 2 ago. Now I'm just kind of being lazy. And I would really like to take a look at some of these quest mods, so like the one that I encountered earlier with MXR's former girlfriend Jeannie, who was actually included as a voice actor in the quest. I thought that was really cool. And it's kind of astounding to me that there are still quests from the Tales from the Commonwealth that I'm not familiar with. But regardless, I'll get more into that later. And for now, say goodbye to Rex. He's a good boy. I wish that I had a dog of my own that I could have on screen right now, but I would have to borrow somebody else's. I'm closing out. I'll see you later.